forward them.
Okay, well, check this out, though. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the set.
Okay, see, now you found yourself a nigga. You looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
My mind is so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch. You Dracula. Southern draw vernacular. Flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this world up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires ball. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch, I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest card. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side. Jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no everything. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong. Black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form. You cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnivore. This shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the matchstick. You niggas Nickelodeon me. I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters a fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's. Fool, no cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Backwards in the air, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy. Even my masseuses can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lesson. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me rolling play, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at fact. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all of our YouTube videos. Hit that like button as y'all come in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come in here. Hit the share, subscribe, hit that Cash App. $ Slick Rick 1991 son. Again, that's $ Slick Rick 1991 son right here on the screen. That is my co-host, my boys. Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that right now on a frequent basis. And also our Venmo, if you guys want to show your love to the Venmo as well, it's at BJ/MATHEWS/1. Again, it's at BJ/MATHEWS/1. All right, y'all. So we're going to get right into it, man. And hold up for a second. All right, that's better right there. Hope y'all don't mind a little background music. Got a little something for y'all, man. Kind of get y'all attention, get y'all blood flowing. But I want to talk a little bit about this situation with LeBron James. Obviously, when you hear the word LeBron James, you really don't have to say the word James. Just say LeBron, and pretty much cowbells ring in people's heads. And LeBron James is going to go down as one of the top 5 greatest players of all time, in my personal opinion. You got some people who don't put him in the top 5. You got some people who put him in the top 3. You got some people who put him as the GOAT. You have some people that's not even in the top 10. Whatever your opinion is, that is personally fine. But my personal opinion is that this man will retire as one of the top 5 greatest players. Right now, I have Jordan, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron, and Magic in that order as the top 5 right there. And I know people, you got to have LeBron James fans talk about, why you have him in the top 2? He should be in your top 2. You a hater. You should be the GOAT. You a hater. Why you got him over Kobe and this? So it goes back to just having your own personal opinion. And my personal opinion again is LeBron James is one of the top 5 greatest players. I have him on my list as number 4. Now that doesn't mean I do not like LeBron James. I got a chance to watch Kobe. I got a chance to watch some of Jordan. I didn't get a chance to watch Kareem, and I didn't really have a chance to watch Magic. But like I said, I'm a historian of the game. I'm a former player, and I can just watch certain things as far as, highlights. I do watch certain game fields. I have watched full games before in black and white, believe it or not. So to say that I have to be born for a certain time for me to understand, a big understanding of that decade and that era, is just completely false. Some people can pick up things faster than others. Some people don't have to have a whole bunch of, just information in front of them to get the point. I can get something without really having much given to me, right? But obviously LeBron James has talked about him being one of the best players of all time. According to him, he said he's the GOAT of NBA, basketball. He's been the GOAT since 2018 when he won that championship against the Golden State Warriors. It made him the number 1 player of all time. It made him the GOAT. And I want y'all to kind of hear what he said about himself in a small interview. If you guys did not know about this, let me go ahead and play this for y'all real quick, and then we'll go right back to you.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports have gone on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. Everybody was just talking how they were the greatest team of all time. Like, they was the greatest team ever assembled. And for us to come back, the way we came back in that fashion, I was like, you did something special. That's like one of the only times in my career I felt like, oh shit, like you did something special. I haven't really had time to really like sit back and think, but that.
So y'all have heard it from the horse's mouth right there. That is LeBron James right there speaking to some of his closest friends. Obviously, Maverick Carter, who is his agent to this day. He's been an agent since the beginning of his career in Cleveland. He is still his agent after 21 years of basketball. One thing about LeBron James, I'm always going to commend him about. If you look at just the opportunities he's given his friends, around him, his close teammates and things like that in high school, he always seems to look out for his people that, grew up with him and actually, were basketball, who were friends of his. And that to me is a very important thing because, usually when you have a group of friends, they come for one thing, they come for money. They want to surround themselves around the cash cow and ask for handouts. And I just think personally, that's just the wrong thing to do. I think personally that when you start giving people stuff to people and you're not really having to really earn it, you're called enabling them. Now, don't get it wrong. I think it's okay to do nice things for people that you love, but when you're able to allow them to work for their earnings and work for what they have, it keeps you protected, because that shows you who's willing to put the time in the work. Because a lot of times it's just about having an opportunity. And in life, it's about having an opportunity. It's not really about having money or having, this. Having an opportunity is going to create money for you and resources and things for your family to take care of. And as long as you're willing to do the work and put in the time, you can, achieve those things and get the fruits of your labor. So I think LeBron James, being smart, business savvy man that he is, said he's going to, put his team to work, and I'm going to take care of them and let them grow on their own and actually earn their own money. So I commend LeBron James for that. But that's him speaking about him being the greatest of all time. He said after he beat the Golden State Warriors, they came back from that 3-1 lead, winning one for Cleveland, that made him the GOAT. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, that in a minute. But let y'all hear what the person I have, the GOAT, Michael Jordan, had to say in retaliation about, what it means to him being the greatest of all time. So here we go.
People always debated, who's the greatest player of all time? Dumb question. It should be, who's the greatest team of all time? There are so many teams to choose from. The 91 Chicago Bulls, sorry, Showtime. The 92 Bulls, back-to-back. The 93 Bulls, first three-peat. The 97 Bulls, even with the flu. 98 Bulls, no push-off. And my favorite, the 96 Chicago Bulls. 72 wins. Tough to beat that. What? You think there's someone else? Prove it.
All right, so that was Michael Jordan in his sense of what makes the GOAT the greatest of all time. And if you look at people's opinions, I think the polls have Jordan still as the GOAT. I'm going to actually see if I can pick that up real quick. But if you ask the masses, as far as, fans, players, peers, things of that nature, they have Michael Jordan as the GOAT right now, still to this day. Now, I'm going to get into detail why that is, because I do think there's some stuff that people miss when they talk about, what the GOAT means and how this come about and things that I think people need to really dive deep into what the GOAT is and who determines who's the GOAT. But Jordan said it's not about being the best player, it's about who has the best team led by the best player. And he presumably shown off his 6 different rings. I'm going to go ahead and, pull this picture up again so y'all can actually see it in hindsight. So this is Jordan right here. Speaking about his 6 rings, you got, 91, 92, 93, 95, or 96, 97, 98. Those are his 3 championships, or his 6 championships. 2 three-peats and 2 separate occasions. The first ever player to ever do that. 2 separate three-peats. So I'm going to talk about what his case, LeBron James's case of being the GOAT. And I want to talk to y'all and ask y'all, is he actually hurting or helping his case right now, playing right now? And does he feel like he personally, in my personal opinion, does LeBron James still feel like he can be the GOAT, or he can be portrayed as the GOAT? All right, so let me make sure y'all, sit back and enjoy this. But I want to say something before I even get started. Obviously, like I said, LeBron James is one of the top 5 players. Well, I would say this top 4, because I think he has surpassed Magic. I mean, I had Magic in front of, LeBron at one point. But I think, well, it's kind of tough because sometimes I just fluctuate back and forth because, you might have one season where LeBron James does something, spectacular, and have another season where he actually, falls, and doesn't, get the job. Then I say, okay, he's over Magic at this point. He's not over Magic now. So it's kind of neck and neck. I mean, you win the Olympics right now. Obviously, you got people talking like LeBron James is, back on, Mount Rushmore. But you got them old heads who still say, well, Magic, made his teammates better. He's the greatest leader. He was magical when you watched them, things of that nature. So it's up to you where you want to put Magic. Kobe, I watch Kobe personally. See, this is the thing people are also trying to do with Kobe. They're trying to write him out of the GOAT debate. And every time you hear people who actually watch Kobe Bryant, actually played against him, they will say that he was in their top 5. There was a discussion at one point that Kobe was it between him and Jordan, who was the best player of all time. Now all of a sudden, this man is not even in the top 10. He's barely in the top 15. You had ESPN write that horrible article because Kobe Bryant called him a bunch of idiots. That really kind of destroyed his GOAT debate. And then you have people now want to put him higher because he passed away. When in reality, I thought this man was always going to be somewhere in the top, top 5 or top 3, wherever you want to put him right now. So I'm gonna let y'all hear a few players who talk about Kobe Bryant being in their top 5 and how anybody who doesn't have him in their top 5, they can't really talk basketball. And this is why I say, if you really want to understand who really ask their peers more than, I'm gonna keep saying, ask your peers more than you ask analysts or fans or things of that nature, because everybody does have an opinion, but it's just like anything. You want to ask the more experienced people who are on the job. And if you ask a lot of players, even in this era, they will have Kobe Bryant in their top 5. And there was a case at one point, like I said, when Kobe Bryant was on the top of, his game, when he won his 5th championship, who was the best between him and Mike? All of a sudden, that conversation dried up years after, when Kobe Bryant, got hurt and, he looked like a shell of himself. And, he had, that run-in with ESPN. But before that, they were talking about Kobe Bryant as either him or Mike. And now all of a sudden he's falling out that conversation. So I want y'all to kind of hear some of the players of what they said to say about Kobe. All right, here we go.
I will say, anybody that don't have Mike, Bron, and Kobe in their top 5, I really have a hard time listening to them.
Right. Hold up. Mike, Bron, Kobe, Shaq?
You can. I think 4 or 5 is very interchangeable. Them 3, I think those 3 is cemented. Like, nobody should ever.
My top 5, I'll tell you my top 5. All right. But out of my top 5, like the 70s and 60s, I kind of leave out like the Chamberlains, the Elgin Baylors, the Jerry West, them like just legends, just all respect. But kind of them 80s on up, for real. For me, that's really kind of my history.
So wait, let's hear your top 5.
My top 5 is Michael Jordan, of course, is number 1 to me. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number 2. Kobe Bryant is number 3. Shaq is number 4. I just seeing these, they dominating ability. And LeBron, probably by the end of his career, is my number 5. You know what I'm saying?
My top 5 is MJ, Kobe, Kobe.
Easy, number 2 ever.
Exactly.
I don't even want to say number 2. It's like they just up here with
man, bro. Like
not in greatness, but in terms of skill.
So that's obviously knuckleheads with Darius Miles, Keaton Richardson, Kevin Durant, all players. Obviously Darius Miles and Q Rich were former players. As y'all come here, hit that like button. But if you look at Darius Miles on the far left, he said pretty much the same list I had: Jordan, Kareem, Kobe, in that order. And then you had Shaq at number 4, which I don't put Shaq in. I just think Shaq is basically, he underachieved. I think personally, he underachieved. I think he was the more so dominant, but as far as his resume being the greatest, I don't think it's there. But KD has always talked about Kobe Bryant being right behind Jordan, right? So you got Jason Tatum, you got Kevin Durant. Speaking of Jordan, you know what I'm saying? And as you continuously go outside of that, here's Charles Barkley with his, top 5.
That Kobe Bryant was one of the 10 greatest NBA players ever.
Right. You say a lot of things.
I want to change that.
To what?
He's one of the 5 greatest ever.
Wow.
Michael's first, Oscar Roberts second. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
Bill Russell's 3rd.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain 4, and Kobe Bryant's 5.
Oh, he's better than Larry Bird.
Yes.
And Magic Johnson.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Best player ever. Oh, man, it's gonna go viral if I say somebody. You know, obviously you got MJ, LeBron, Kobe. I put Shaq out there.
Mike, Shaq, Kobe, okay, LeBron,
Brown. The fifth one is always hard.
It could be. I mean, it could be a lot of dudes. Man,
This who you feeling today? Because you know it's harder
Steph,
to put 5.
Westbrook, Kyrie.
And realize something. These videos some of these videos are being players when Kobe was actually playing. See, a lot of times, and this is why I always found out why this is so, entertaining. I never understood the notion how you can go down when it came to Kobe Bryant when he was already being ranked so high. See, for him to already be ranked by these top players like KD, like Charles Barkley, all these Hall of Famers, Allen Iverson, his peers, who actually, played against him, actually was, a part of it and saw it happen with their eyes. For him to already be in the top 5 and be ranked by it, it's amazing to me. People want to automatically say he was never in the top 10 or never in the top 5. You hear that a lot from different analysts, like that guy, Nick Wright, who said he was never in the top 5. You hear from guys like, who else? Shannon Sharp, who actually there's a little bit of hypocrisy with him because he actually was a person who was a big Kobe supporter. And it just realized he just as recently became a big LeBron James supporter. But he had him and Michael Jordan as the 2 best players of all time. If you look at him back on, he was on Twitter. So a lot of people's agendas are being, pulled when it comes to Kobe Bryant. Like I said, I'm only playing this to kind of show the players what they feel and how they, talk about Kobe and his peers. Because to me personally, that's what it seems like a lot of the players just really relish about. What does their peers say about, a certain player? But Allen Iverson, had Kobe Bryant. We saw Kevin Durant had Kobe Bryant. Let's go to another player real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and finish off 1 second.
I was one at the 5.
He said, "Nah, man. I think Golden State's gonna win this game. They're gonna win the championship this year, bro." Man, you got a few responses that you could give back to just the greatest to play this game. You know what I mean? Hey, by the way, when I say the greatest to play this game, it doesn't mean I'm knocking anybody else. Let me finish my story because you know how fucking these people be wilding. All right, chill. The greatest to play this game to me. Who fuck what you talking about? I don't care about your stats. I don't care about all the greatest. I don't fucking care. All right, greatest to play this game to me.
That was obviously Kyrie Irving. If you guys did not see that one, Kyrie Irving has Kobe Bryant as greatest player of all time. So again, those are just some of the greats that we have right now who, a lot of players, people respect. Personally, let me just say this. Top 5 again is Jordan, Kareem, Kobe, Magic, and LeBron right now. So LeBron is the only one playing out of those 4 players to this day. So we have to ask ourselves, with LeBron James playing, is he hurting or is he helping his GOAT case? And does he care about being the GOAT, or does he feel like he could still be that? Well, let's compare him to the standard. Let's compare him to who people are trying to, compare him to. All right, so let me go ahead and, pull something up for y'all real quick so y'all can see for yourself. So, obviously, Jordan and LeBron at age 38. If you look at both sides, one player played 14 seasons, the other one played 20 seasons. We're going to get into the accomplishments and accolades and things of that nature because it's about who's the greatest. So greatest means about you have to, factor in your resume, your skills, your dominance in that era, your competition in that era, vice versa. But if you just look at everything on the nutshell, it looks like Jordan has had more accolades than LeBron James. When you look at the championships, when you look at the All NBA teams, when you look at the Finals MVPs, season MVPs. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Yeah. When you look at all those accolades, at age 38, because this was just produced last season, it looks like Jordan has basically accomplished more than LeBron in less time. And see, that's why I say I put Jordan as the best player of all time, because see, LeBron is going to be known as probably the most durable player of all time. This is what I have a better argument about when it comes to him. When it comes to durability and playing and actually being on the court and actually playing a number of years on the NBA, LeBron James is probably the most durable player of all time, right? If he's probably the guy that you look at, okay, well, if I want to keep my body in shape, I want to basically extend my career, I go to LeBron James. Because just to be quite honest with you, the things that he's doing at age 39 going on 40 has never been done before, and which actually scratches my head. You know, he's able to do this and run up and down the court and jump how he's able to jump at this age. It's never been done. So you got to give LeBron James that nod. But if you look at who is the player that accomplished more in less time, the guy that was able to presumably, you know what I'm saying, affect the game and be the most influential player of all time, you look at Jordan. He got the most done in less time. You got to think about it. He goes into the league his first 7 seasons. He wins his first championship in 91. After 91, he goes to three back-to-back championships and wins. He never lost in the NBA Finals on the big stage. Now, people may say, well, he lost in the first round. That's fine. But nobody remembers those teams that they played in the first round. If you say he lost in the first round, tell me the teams that he lost to in the first round, since they're so important. They're not. It's expected. But when he goes to the finals and wins 6 times out of 6, I could tell you the teams they faced. They faced the Lakers in 91. They faced the Portland Trailblazers and Clyde Drexler in 92. They faced Charles Barkley, the MVP, season MVP in 93, beat them. They faced the Seattle Supersonics, who had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, a prime super team with 60+ wins that year. And they faced the Utah Jazz back-to-back times in 97 and 98 with Karl Malone and John Stockton, who Karl Malone in 97 won the season MVP. And then he faced, one of the top 5 point guards in John Stockton, in my personal opinion. That's what Jordan did in his 6 finals appearances. While LeBron in his 10 finals appearances in his decade in 2010 to 2020, you can say that there's a lot of people that ate. Dirk Nowitzki got a championship off of LeBron. Kawhi Leonard and Tim Duncan got a championship off of LeBron. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant got championships off of LeBron. You got who else got a championship? Yeah. So about 3-4 of the Hall of Fame players got championships off of LeBron James's watch. While in Jordan's time, nobody else was eating. That's dominant. That's Gary Payton, you're not getting nothing. Magic Johnson, you're not getting nothing. Charles Barkley, you're not getting nothing. Karl Malone, you're not getting nothing. John Stockton, you're not getting nothing. That's the dominant era that Jordan was able to beat, who were also Hall of Famers. See, you can only grade a person how they did in their era. You can't help when they were born. So those that keep saying Jordan had weaker competition, this, that, and the other, Jordan faced the competition and the same things that he had access to as far as, technology as his peers. It's just that Jordan was just more superior than these guys physically, athletically, and mentally. His mentality was the big thing. You're not beating me. I'm not letting you beat me. If you look at LeBron James's career, he's played with more All-Stars than any of the top 5 players. He's played with more Hall of Famers. He played with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Ray Allen. Who else am I thinking of? I'm still thinking. So that's 7 prime Hall of Famers right there who helped him win his championships. Jordan, you had Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. Who else did he play with who is considered Hall of Famers? And he was able to accomplish a lot of many things without, you know, the amount of help. So, looking at their comparisons, championships, NBA seasons, playoffs play, all-star games, just vice versa, all those things. That's what LeBron James is, faced against Jordan. But can LeBron James ever reach Michael Jordan and his pinnacle? Here's the deal. LeBron James right now wants to play with his son, obviously, Bronny. Bronny obviously was picked as the 56th pick for the Los Angeles Lakers, and a guaranteed contract. I want to keep putting that out there. A guaranteed contract. He was awarded as a second rounder, which has never been done in history. So obviously, LeBron James has big goals to play with his son, right? Presumably, I'm going to say this. I don't think LeBron James particularly goes around and said he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT. I think a lot of the people in these medias are trying to make the case for him to be the GOAT. I don't think deep down LeBron James think he can really have an accurate case as far as basketball-wise against Jordan. I just don't feel like that. And I feel like that's the reason why he came out and said that made him the GOAT in 2018. I think he's been thinking in his head a long time, how do I find a way to make the masses believe that I'm the GOAT of all time? Okay, I'm gonna play an extra, X amount of years. The way LeBron James is moving, he might go and play up until about 25 years. And he might do it at a level we ain't seen, because like if you look at him right now, he's still looking like he can dominate in certain aspects of the game. He can still run fast. He can still jump. He ain't what he used to be, but shit, like, you're comparing him to his, a young 23, 25, 28, 30-year-old LeBron. So at 40 years old, him still doing this and what he did in the Olympics, I mean, you still looking at that like, okay, he got an extra 3 to 5 seasons. So how do you actually propel him to make sure, like, pretty much present him as the best, greatest of all time? Well, you got guys like Shannon Sharp, you got guys like Nick Wright, you got guys like Kendrick Perkins, you got guys like, this, that, and the other, who make the case for him. Because again, it's really about what the media drives. It's all narrative, this GOAT debate. The GOAT debate's all narrative. How can I get you to believe? How can I make a case that I was the GOAT, that I was the greatest of all time? How can I make that case to make you see that I am the person that you should put as the GOAT, the greatest of all time? That is the mission of a lot of these players and what their agenda is. That's what LeBron's mission is. So if enough people sit around and talk about how great LeBron is and what he's able to do, then it doesn't matter what no one else thinks. It doesn't matter what, he thinks personally. Go out there and try to, to give me a case that I am better than this guy. Even though you look at the accolades, you look at the accomplishments, the amount of time, the dominance is not in his favor. Look, I don't see how LeBron even gets. I'm not so sure. Like, the way I look at it now, and I'm like, time has passed, I don't even think it was really a real case between these two. because after really, maybe even after 2018, I don't think there was really a case. I think the case died, and this is how great Jordan is. Jordan's never lost in the finals. No one cares about the first round. No one cares about the second. Now, people may pull out the Detroit Pistons and say, well, he lost against the Pistons 3-4 times in a row. And that's the biggest asterisk and the biggest mark against him. But it's not even him losing against those teams. It's how he lost. You didn't see Jordan going out those series, you know what I'm saying, scoring an average of 17 points like LeBron James did in the 2011 finals. You didn't see him having a game where he scored 8 points in a pivotal game. I think it was a game 3 against the Dallas Mavericks, where he showed his mental collapses. You don't see him getting beat against the Spurs by a record margin in 2014. You don't see him getting swept in the finals against the Golden State Warriors, who another narrative people want to put is the greatest team of all time, to try to push away LeBron James's failures. But I've seen James Harden, who a lot of people call a choke artist, take that same team to 7 games, and Chris Paul missing the last 2 of them. I seen Kawhi Leonard the year before against that same prime Golden State team in 2017, had them down by 17 points in their own arena. I saw the Spurs that same season be the only team to have a winning record against the Golden State Warriors. So what I say is that the Warriors were a beatable team. Did they get beat? Well, they got beat when KD went out in 2019. That's what broke up the whole dynasty, in my personal opinion. But they say that team was unbeatable to try to hide LeBron James getting swept and gentlemen swept 2 years straight. I watched Kobe Bryant in 2010 in the NBA Finals beat a Boston Celtics team that had Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. All four Hall of Famers, that Boston Celtics team. I seen Kobe Bryant with Pau Gasol lead them to a championship that year. Pau Gasol, for people who do not know, was a very, very solid big man, but he was never top 3 until he got with the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. He was considered skilled, but he was a little bit soft, very finessed, from Spain. You had Kevin Garnett, you had Rasheed Wallace, you had Tim Duncan. All these players were in front of Pau Gasol for a number of years. And Rasheed Wallace was on that team too against the Lakers in 2010 against Kobe. Kobe took a team against Boston, which a lot of people forget that Boston Celtics team was stacked in 2010. They already had won a championship in 2008, and they were presumed as a super team. And Kobe helped them win a championship. So when I hear this, Golden State this, Golden State that, he couldn't win more than one game, 2 separate occasions, that counts against him. So we gotta keep it 100. LeBron James's case is being built by people in the media. That is what it, and that's what all that matters. That's what the fans, because again, the fans decide who's the GOAT. I feel like it should be the players doing it because those are his peers. But if you listen to the loudest voice, it's coming from the fans, and then the media, then the players. That's the order, the hierarchy. The fans have these discussions more so because it's more of the fans than anything, than the media, because they're the ones on the big screen. They're the ones, you hear every single day, and all that stuff. They're the ones that talk about it. People pick it up and read it or, listen to it. And then you got the players who discuss it amongst themselves, who they talk about it very seldomly, on the screen. They do it more so, in private conversations. But it should be the most meaningful one. I think LeBron James is hurting his GOAT debate. Not saying that he cares or not. I think he's hurting his GOAT debate rather than helping it, because he can't win no more championship. I mean, he could win more championships if he actually can. And this is another thing he has done. LeBron James has made it popular from moving to team. He is the person, if you look at the history, he is the person responsible for player power to the players to move where they want to move to. That's where it comes from, LeBron. He's the one. All these players you guys seeing moving from team to team is coming from LeBron James. When he said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach in 2010, you see Kevin Durant following his same blueprint. You see all these players jumping out of their contracts. Even though I would give LeBron James this, LeBron James honored his contract, and then he left when his contract was up. But when you guys see all these players jumping out of their contracts and demanding trades and saying I can move from this team to this team, this man on the screen is the one that started all this. Don't tell me about players in the past getting moved and stuff. That was by the owners. LeBron James has made it popular to move from team to team, and my personal opinion, decrease the competition. Let's stack up one team over here to, up my chances for a championship. When in my era with Kobe, it was more about staying with one team and trying to figure it out. People gonna bring up Kobe Bryant tried to leave this time. The only time Kobe tried to leave a team or leave the Lakers is when he felt like the Lakers weren't loyal to him, i.e. not following suit what they promised him. Which you didn't really see Kobe try to stack his teams up with a bunch of, great players. It was more so ownership doing that. He wasn't asking for this player, asking for that. He was asking for a certain group of people that complement him, but not a bunch of stars and jumping. He didn't want to leave Los Angeles ever. LeBron James has left to Cleveland. He went to Miami, went back to Cleveland, he went to the Lakers. Now he's talking about he wants to play with Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different mindset that you had back then. Jordan the same way. Jordan didn't want to team up with player his peers. He didn't want to team up with Magic and LeBron or Magic and Larry Bird. He didn't want to team up, with Charles Barkley. He didn't want to team up with Karl Malone. He didn't want to team up with these dudes. He wanted to beat them. He wants to be the alpha lone dog on top. That was my era. That was the 2000s. But this era is more so let's team up and let's bring it all together. And you can see it. Just look at all these players either asking for certain other stars. Now, I'm not saying you might not need a dynamic duo, but when you start talking about 3-4 guys, this is why I say a lot of these teams are starting to, get these type of, teams, because that's kind of the era we in now, the super team era. Or at least we're kind of exiting it out, but we were in that era for a certain period of time, and that started for LeBron, the super team era, where I can try to build my team as a super. It started with LeBron James. And then it trickled down to, the Warriors building their quote unquote, building the Warriors as a super team. Then it went to, you got, the Lakers when they had LeBron James building another super team. This is the era we in. It's different times. So like I said, if you're going to build a super team, fine, but at least win. And that's where I think LeBron James fans fall short, because they keep trying to push aside winning, which is why we play this game about who determines who's what. Now it's not about, it's about the team. That's not about the player, it's about the team. If I go outside and I say I'm better than you, and I say my team against yours, and I beat you, who gets the bragging rights? Who gets to say who was better? Who gets to say that, you know, I'm over you? It's the team that won. No one cares. Oh, I built your team. You built my team. And, you know, whoever team wins, that's the best. It don't matter who wins. I mean, it matters who wins, but that's not because that, like, what? Nah, that's not how it works. LeBron has had plenty of flexibility to build teams that he wants. And some of them have failed. So you can't sit up here and say he didn't have this, he didn't have that. Because he primarily is the center of what he wants. He wanted Russell Westbrook on the Lakers. He got him. And they automatically blame Russell Westbrook for not being a good fit. But LeBron James and Anthony Davis wanted him on the team. So when you're 4-6 in the NBA Finals, and you've not only lost finals, but you had droughts where you looked a shell of yourself, and you're putting up against a guy who maybe in certain spurts of certain games did not look up to par, but you never saw Jordan. You watched him on the court and said, "Who's that? What am I watching? This guy doesn't even look like he's the same person." The only time I seen that was in '95 when he faced the Magic when he came back from being in baseball, which obviously that year he didn't win a championship. He won the next 3 championships right after that. That's the only time you can say Jordan, you didn't recognize who he was. LeBron, I've said that a few occasions, you couldn't recognize who he was, or he basically, my personal opinion, gave up on his team. The 2018 finals where he had that quote unquote hurt hand on his wrist and he came to that in the press conference, I feel he gave up on his team. I feel like in the 2020 playoffs against the Phoenix Suns, he gave up on his team. Or the 21 playoffs against the Suns, he gave up on his team. When LeBron is feeling like he doesn't have the upper hand or the upper advantage, he's going to try to get as much stats as possible to say I had a good game. And see, a lot of LeBron James fans ain't gonna like this. But I don't care because again, I speak about what I see. When LeBron James, I give him credit when he gets credit, but when he gets blamed, he gets blamed. I've seen LeBron James quit. I saw him quit in the 2014 NBA Finals against the Spurs, where the team he knew he couldn't beat was better than him, and had one of his teammates, Ray Allen, a Hall of Famer, not hit that corner shot, you might be looking at LeBron James at 3-7. Actually, no, you not might, you will be, because that game was over. They were already rolling out the championship trophy and the champagne for the Spurs. It's going to come a day where we start really evaluating LeBron James' career. The real basketball analysts and the real basketball people who know, and they're going to determine, well, was LeBron James's career really what it was or how they portrayed it to be, or is there a lot of things that they missed and did not, circle around? Because now if you look at it, the talk is we're seeing LeBron James about to play with his son, and that's going to go into him being the GOAT. That right there is going to go into LeBron James being the GOAT. The only person to play with his son. This all, you know what I'm saying? What's this word? Not the in-season tournament. Then win that in-season tournament last year and raising the banner. That's going to go against LeBron James's resume. That's going to go on his resume. All these little things that they trying to push and promote is going to be in favor of LeBron James, right? That's what it's going to be. So this is what I'll say personally. I have no hate towards LeBron James. Things I do not like about him, I'm not a big fan of his game. I can't relate to his game. that's not the way he plays. I'm not just a fan of it, but I'm respectful of what he's done. I'm respectful of him being able to be a pioneer of this game for a number of years. I'm respectful of what he's able to, bring on a day in and day out to not cheat the game. That's what I do respect about LeBron. So for the ones that say LeBron James is, watch this video, said I'm not a fan of him, couldn't be any more wrong. I'm a fan of also how he is as a father and as a husband and as a friend to his, people that's close to him. But it's nothing wrong with saying, okay, this is something that LeBron James lacks in. It's called criticism. That's what it's called. And when I look at this and I just see one guy, Michael Jordan, what he did in 14 seasons to what LeBron did in 20, on a totality and the dominance that he had, because for you to accomplish all that, if you're Jordan, means you dominated your era. You got a lot of stuff done. And don't forget that Defensive Player of the Year in that top left, right next to the word 14. That's the Defensive Player of the Year award that Jordan won. Another thing LeBron James ain't got. So just think if Jordan played 20 years, how many championships y'all think Jordan might have had if he played the same amount of years as LeBron? You think he has more than 6 titles? You think if he didn't miss those 2 years and to go play baseball, you think he wouldn't have a chance of winning championships there? Remember, he lost in 95 and went and won 3 more championships in a row. That means Chicago, right after he lost, was a championship. They won a championship 3 years straight. So they were still the best team in the NBA. It's just they were missing the best player. And that's what goes to that's why Jordan said what he said is about, you can't, if I'm the best player, if we're the best team, it's a great chance you have the best player on that team. Winning, meaning i.e. winning is the number one thing that matters. Not your stats, not you being monumental, not you being a philanthropist, not you doing, it's about, did you get the job done and how did you look getting the job done? And that's how I rank players. That's how I rank the GOAT. That's how I rank who's top 5. That's how I rank who's top 10. And like I said, I don't think LeBron James really has much of a case to get past Jordan basketball-wise. So they're trying to use certain media tactics to do it for him. But I'm gonna let y'all decide what y'all think about this, man. I know I'm gonna have people in the comment section who's not gonna like this video. Some people are gonna love this video. It is what it is. So yeah, until next time, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, put a live page out of here like swimwear.
Like that. Woo!